So, this is going to be, Jingles put out a video, World of Warships Significantly More Russian. In the open little section of it, he's got kind of like a CV interaction thing. So we can go ahead and watch this. I'm going to stop it, because ultimately, I'm just going to let you know, the enemy CV wins. Hey, shock. And this is kind of like a, hey, isn't that bullshit? So we're just going to look at what happened, and I do want to point out some caveats at the start. So virtually undamaged tier 10 cruiser and tier 8 cruiser light, which is the Cleveland and Hindenburg, with a tier 9 destroyer over there, 4,000 health and smoke, and a tier 10 midway that's hover hugging the A line versus a Thunderer and a midway, which is over down here. Okay, so the Hindi has taken Bravo. We can see 446 to 592. Thunder's gonna come in and do cool Thunderer shit. But already, if we had noticed, the rocket planes came from the south. Basically, they probably chased the Yugumo into smoke and came over, hit the Hindenburg for 7,000 damage, making him from unscratched to gently scratched. And then came over, but he lost. We saw 2 planes die as they shot and left, and all the rest of the planes are dead. He lost 8 planes to do 7,000 damage to a Hindi. Why he has 9 planes at, 14 minutes into the game, I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes people lean pretty heavily on their plane of choice. I almost think he might have been AFK, because some of the amount of planes that he still has seem awkwardly high. But yeah, so he loses 8 planes here. Did 7,000 to a Hindi, and he got scratched. With 2/3 of the game gone, the midway is still throwing full strength squadrons. So we've just had a time jump from 530 to 430. Hindenburg has obviously taken a shitload of damage. We have not seen what the carrier has done, but if I'm correct, the Yugumo is down to about 600 health. So probably that last minute he was dicking around with the DD trying to do something, and tagged him a little bit but didn't kill him. So Hindy's taking a pretty nasty smack of damage. Still the Thunderer's getting his ass kicked. Thunderer's got his torps away. Says that AP damage to the AA guns are still intact, which is not necessarily the case, because AA can still bust through and break modules. It just has to have direct contact with the modules. But still, I would like to note out here, he's about to break some AA mounts off of his friendly ship. But anyway, okay, so Thunderer goes down. There's a single enemy ship, the Midway, versus 4 of his teammates. So solo warrior incoming. But let's look at something real quick here. They now have B cap. They have 2 caps to 1, and they're 10 points behind. And you're gonna notice, and I say this specifically because the Mighty Jingles has a lot of videos. He makes good stuff. Has a lot of videos where he talks about winning harder. It's not enough to win. You've got to win harder. So now that they've got the win, they've bagged this win, they're going to start chasing the CV. Now again, when we see these planes, it's like this is nine torpedo planes. These are full squadrons. This is not a joke. At the most, you can have 1.5 full squadrons. So like a midway could have up to 16, I think, torps, 16 rockets. They already blew 8 of them about a minute ago. But they're not going to run away. They're not going to dare the CV to come out and take Bravo cap. They're going to start driving toward the CV and make themselves closer and closer and closer so that he can attack over and over and over again. This will be significant by the end. The midway's going to come in with 9, 5 seconds still defensive fire. He hasn't priority sectored yet. He priority sectored and defensive on cooldown, but now his guns are pointed the other way, so that's technically an error by the Cleveland. But, I mean, does this matter? He gets 1 full drop off, and he's going to drop with a single plane. So, it's going to be 1 little doot, 2 torps, nothing big. So even if it had been, if he'd priority sectored a little earlier, they were still able to drill some planes. I think he gets a chunk. He takes about 10k off with that drop, and the Hindy's able to heal back up. Rockets on the Yugumo. Yugumo's hanging with them. He mentions now fighters with now with fighter cover from a friendly CV. sometimes in a carrier, you want to help somebody. You really do. But you're not going to get there fast enough. So, where the Hindi's pointed, down here, there's a fighter. That's cute. But the enemy's not in the fighter, he's not in the fighter thing. After the drop, he's in the fighter thing. So technically the fighter's going to latch on and force him to leave, which is exactly what we can see here, because they just did the drop and they're leaving. But the fighter cover in this situation didn't matter. If the fighter was here, or was further down, placed ahead of the attack, that would be one thing. But this is actually a late placement. Takes the dock on the noggin. So this is about 2 minutes 50 seconds later, and I think he's got his one more heal off and then he goes down. We've got a fighter here. It's probably a little too close to the midway. Yeah, it's already getting chiseled by the midway's AA. Got bombs coming in. It's still going to take a while because these things just came down. That's 2 seconds before they latch. They're really not going to be able to do anything here. But bomb comes down. Bonk. Hits him for 6, goes ahead and damage cons. And if you notice over in the corner, it's 12 seconds remaining. Midway gets a panic fucking drop. It's about 3,000. Doesn't have rocket planes, otherwise you'd rocket this. Probably doesn't even really have bombs yet. They may not have landed. Yeah, it looks like they're still attempting to land on the carrier. They haven't even returned yet, and he's trying to get out with rockets, which he has 1. So he chucked torps. He's got at least 3 damn torp planes, so he chucked torps, used the power of prayer, and dink. And that damage con is burned from that fire before. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the way to the enemy CV. So grats to him on a solo warrior. Midway versus 4 ships, 2 of which were cruisers with undamaged AA. This is not technically crewed because he shot his own cruiser. Broken AA mount. One of which had an AA spec captain. And then I think we get the fire dog, right? Midway wins. Next will be the fire dog. AA is fine. So, again, we're just going to back this up real quick. Dun, 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 dun. With this win, with 1 second remaining, all 4 of these ships went from here to here. They all decided to win harder. They threw the match. Because it's only through the sheer volley of just please, 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 please throwing planes at this shit, hoping to get fucking kills, that he made it within a second. If they just stopped, went the other way, would the CV have been able to get to them? Sure. And when it did, it would have been able to attack once and lost all the rest of its planes. And then flown all the way across the map again to attack once and then lose all the rest of his planes. But no, they win harder, and they rescued defeat from the jaws of victory. Which, I mean, on the one hand, I can understand how that wasn't his tagline on this. But as it's such a Jingles tagline, I mean, you gotta admire it, really. Well, congrats to the little tier 8 Cleveland that could with his 36 plane kills. 41 plane kills, anti-air and all that shit. But, yeah. So anyway, that's my little response to the Jingles thing, because I know people are going to ask. So I can go ahead and kick this off into YouTube and stick it on a forum so people can freak out about it. And life will go on.